In the last video, we got a video player to display on the screen. So now we need to make sure that this video player somehow requests video to come from that RTMP server. In order to do so, we're going to be making use of that FLV package. At this point, you might be a little bit confused why we installed FLV at all, because we just appeared to get a video player on the screen without it. Well, essentially, FLV is about downloading that video stream and then converting it to some file that can actually be played inside of this normal HTML video player. You can almost think of FLV.js as being a little bit like Axios, in that it's going to reach out to some remote server, get some resource, and then serve out that data to our application to be consumed on the screen. So in this video, we're going to start to set up FLV inside of our stream show component. The actual setup of this is going to be just about identical to what we just saw inside of the Node Media Server documentation, specifically FLV.js over HTTP FLV. So as we saw just a moment ago when we looked at this documentation, we're going to take the ref to the video element and then pass it off to this create player call. You'll notice that inside of create player, we also have to specify the URL that we're going to get that stream from. So we'll have to kind of investigate that in just a little bit. For right now, I want to think about where we should be writing this code inside of Stream Show to set up that video player. I think that an appropriate place to do it would be the component did mount lifecycle method. So we'll say that right after we call fetch stream, we could write this code before, just to be clear. It doesn't really matter what side of this we place the creation of the video player on of fetch stream. We're going to call flv.createPlayer. And we'll pass in an options object. The options object is going to have type FLV to designate the type of video we're trying to receive. And then we're also going to specify a URL right here. So let's take a look at the Node Media Server documentation again and figure out how we specify that URL. So you'll see right here, we're going to specify localhost 8000. Remember, we had said that that is where video is going to be served up from that RTMP server, port 8000. And then we're going to access the live route and then stream name right here. So this is going to be the name of our stream of video. Now you might think that this is going to be like the title of our stream from the API. Remember, the title of a stream that is stored on our API is completely separate and independent from all of this actual RTMP server stuff. The stream name right here is actually specified when a user streams video from their video streaming software, in our case, OBS. If you actually scroll up in this documentation right here just a little bit, there's a section on how to configure OBS to stream to our RTMP server. So inside of OBS, we're going to go to Settings, then Stream. We're going to select a custom streaming server, and we're going to attempt to stream video from OBS over to RTMP localhost live. And then we're also going to designate inside of OBS something called a stream key. And that stream key is going to be equal to our stream name. So the stream name is actually designated by OBS. Essentially, when a streamer starts to stream video to our application, they are going to designate a stream name. And so we just need to make sure that our viewers receive or are making use of the exact same stream name right there. So the approach that we're going to take for this is going to be really straightforward. We're going to say that our stream name is going to be the ID of the stream that we are looking at. So in this case, I'm looking at stream with ID number 1. That is going to be our stream name. So a streamer using OBS is going to enter a stream key of like ID 1 if they're trying to stream with ID of 1. And then on side of our video player, when we set that up, we will put the ID of the stream that the user is looking at in place of this little stream name part right here. Now, I know that's a little bit confusing, but honestly, once we put all this stuff together, it'll definitely make a lot of sense. All right, so I'm going to flip back over to my editor. And for my URL, I'm going to use a little bit of a template string right here. So ES2015 syntax. We're going to say http://localhost 8000/live/ curly braces like so. And inside of here, we want to put the ID of our stream. Now, we already accessed the ID right up here on the line above it. So I think that we can probably save a little bit of typing here by destructuring off ID from this.props.match.params. And then when we call fetch stream, we can just pass in the ID like so. And now we can reuse that ID variable down inside of our URL as well. So we're going to get video from live ID.flv like so. Okay, so that looks pretty good. So now the next thing we're going to do if we follow the documentation you saw over here, is assign that create player call to some variable. And then we're going to take that variable and we're going to call attach media element. And we're going to pass in the reference to the actual video element that we are rendering inside of our component. So back over here, I'm going to assign the result of create player to this.player, like so. And then right after it, I'll say this.player.attach media element, and I'll pass in a reference to this.video ref.current, like so. And then finally, to load up the player, we'll call this.player.load. Now you might notice back in the documentation, they've got the play call on here as well. Play is going to attempt to get the video player playing automatically, but I've actually found that that doesn't quite work so well. A lot of modern browsers prevent video from being played automatically when a user first accesses the page. So for you and me, we're just going to load up the player, and we're not going to try to automatically play any video. We'll allow the user to click on the play button to get the video to start to play. Okay, so let's save this, and then we'll flip back over to our browser, and you'll notice that we very quickly get a nasty error message right here, which is totally fine. Let's take a quick pause. When we come back to the next section, we're going to start to investigate this error and figure out what's going on, because it definitely seems like something is not quite going expected when we attempt to attach the video player to that video ref. So quick pause, and I'll see you in just a minute.